Good morning, everyone. As I do every morning, I start my day with my morning elixir. I've done a video on this, so I'll link it in the cards. I will not repeat myself here because it's the same drink every morning. And lately, what I've been doing is getting up early to actually read my book because I'm rereading the whole Harry Potter series and they are quite exciting. So I don't find them quite relaxing at the end of the day. So I try to squish in a good half an hour of reading in the morning whilst still in bed or with my breakfast and first cup of coffee. So this is my first stretch of reading for the day. And breakfast was a little bit of a cheekier edition of my usual porridge, or our usual porridge, because Daniel so kindly added some of my grandma's Christmas cookies to it. So here I am enjoying my Christmas cookies and my book. With my first cup of coffee, I try to drink a cup of water as well, so that I stay on top of hydration, and I've found it really helpful, actually. All right, we are. I don't think I even said hello to you guys in this video. Hello and welcome back to the channel. You've already seen me have my first coffee and breakfast, but now it's a couple of hours later and now we're making some lunch from quite limited resources, so this will be fun and I think very informative for you guys. But first I'll still need to take my supplements because I forgot in the morning, and I'm a little bit annoyed because lately I haven't been able to stick to my normal diet, if that makes sense. I haven't been eating so many fresh greens that I would prefer. So what I've been doing is I've been juicing celery, which is well, that's brutal if you've tried it. It's apparently really good for you. Not apparently, the salts in celery are really beneficial to just detoxify the body, which I find really helpful this time around. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get out my supplements from the bowls. I need 1 ml of vitamin B. This is not working. Alright, here we go. And I'm still taking the Viva Life vitamins. I take vitamin B12, I take D3. I need 50 ml of that. So that's the D3, same packaging, and plant-based omega 3, which is 2 ml. So I'll link them below because they're really, really good, and they take care of my normal regime, which is really good. Otherwise, I'd love to have multivitamin on hand, but I haven't had. I've finished my pills that I've showed you guys in the previous video, but I haven't been able to reorder them because they come from the US and it takes quite a long time. And I know Viva Life has a really good multivitamin supplement, but they're out of stock here in Europe. So yeah, for now this is it. This is what I'm taking, and I'm also taking CBD oil in the evenings, just because why not? But anyways. Did I just... wow. Anyways, back to the video. I think, because I do have some cashews, I'll soak them in boiling water while I'm preparing the food, and then I'll come up with the rest. There's a very sprouty... oh my god, onion, that's the word. There's a sprouty onion here, so we'll see if I can use this. There's a lot of garlic that I can definitely work with. I have some leftover squash, which is always good, and some leftover zucchini slices, because I'm working on an ebook actually, and I've been doing the recipe development I think a couple of days ago, and those need to be eaten. So, and I also have some left over, and I think this will all go in a happy little pot, and we shall see what comes out of it. First, the cashews. Alright, cashews are soaking in hot water, and well, it turns out you can't really use an onion that's already sprouted, so that's in the bin, so I'm using another onion. And I thought I would show you guys that it's really easy, a really easy hack for a less messy process when you're cooking. I look bald. I do have hair. I do have hair. That if you have a scrap bowl for all your scraps basically, then you can keep your surface area quite clean and to the point, to the actual ingredient. So that's what I've been doing for a good couple of years now, and it's really helpful to have everything in one place and just dump it in the bin when you're finished. So for now I will be slicing and dicing the onions, and I'm contemplating whether 2 cloves of garlics are enough or not. They're quite big. Let's stick to 2, and then spices will take care of the rest. Let's do that. I also take, I think you guys would be interested in this, an Immune Extra fruit crystal mix, and it's from a Hungarian company, but they ship I think EU wide, and since we don't have multivitamin, I've been taking 1 or 2 teaspoons of this every day, and it's quite tasty. I'll link it in the description box below if you guys are interested. They're really good. Alright, this is what I'm working with so far. I'll saute these in water, and I've decided to add the garlic, not to the sauteed onions, but to the cashew sauce, so that I don't have to mess around with slicing the garlic up, because I don't have a garlic squisher. That's how it's called. I should use a knife, and I can't be bothered. So these will get soaked in water, sauteed, not soaked, sauteed in water, and I'll add the squash. I also found some lentils, so we'll just, some red lentils, we'll just add those to the mix as well, and the zucchinis, and I'll show you guys the spices that I use at the end, and we'll see how it all turns out. It's not the prettiest and not the, well, not the most thought through recipe, but it's what we're working with. Alright, the pumpkin's in, or the squash is in. Leaving it to soften, and I thought I would show you guys the spices that I'm intending to use. Not to say that I will be sticking to these exclusively, but this is the most likely run-up. I have a steak mix that I use. This smells amazing. And I also have salt that has herbs in it, so that should help the flavor as well. And I'll also use some onion and garlic powder just to add some more flavors. And the star of the show is always the Himalayan black salt. It's called Kala Namak, and this is amazing. So I'll leave this to soften, and I'll also add some, I think 4 tablespoons of these, and we'll see how that turns out. Alright, what we have here is quite a peculiar looking stew. I had some leftover courgette that I had to use. I've added the leftovers of the leftovers and the cashew cream, and this is what we have now. I think what I'm gonna do is slice up some tortillas, which I'll show you in a sec. So I'm thinking of slicing these up and trying to crisp them up. I usually do it in that pan, but it's just not going to happen, is it? Because that's full. So I'll see if I can come up with some alternative solution, but I would really like to have some crispy tortillas with that food. Wish me luck. Alright, mission accomplished. I'm using the other non-stick pan we have, which is not necessarily a frying pan, but it gets the job done. And we're gonna have some of these tortillas with the stew thing. And I'm doing my ritual because I'm watching Isabel Page's new video. I could do anything to be there right now in a snowy winter wonderland. I love snow. I love snow. So yeah, don't mind me cooking and basically feeding my little family, which is myself and Dan. Alright, I would say this was a success. So we'll have this with the I've added some more rice milk because that's all we have now to this, so that it's more of a soupy consistency, so that it's a little bit more warming because it's getting quite cold outside. So that's lunch. Alright, back we are in the kitchen. Yesterday's what I eat in a day was a fail, was an epic fail. And I do have an explanation, or an excuse. My grandma offered to make us dinner and I didn't want to whip out the camera and shove it in her face. So instead of you seeing what I ate yesterday for dinner, I'll show you another juice recipe and talk to you guys a little bit. And I also have some leftovers from my grandma's making, and she made these amazing pasties from potatoes. So these are traditional Hungarian potato pasties and they are so good. So just imagine that I'm eating this for dinner, which is technically, it was true. There's just no footage of it. So I'm eating this and I'm making some juice to compensate for the fat in this. Alright, so I think I've come up with what I'm going to be putting into the juice this morning. There's a couple of carrots that will be really just difficult to shred or cook with, so these are going in there, and some beetroot. I think these 5 apples will give it a really nice sweet kick. Some ginger that we usually use in the morning, or not usually, we use it every day, that doesn't go there. But these would be really hard to peel and shred, so I think it's the best to use them up in the juice. Some celery, and I think I'm gonna have all these, no, that's gone bad, sad days. I think I'm going to be using all these for breakfast, the solid breakfast, not juicing. And I think I'm gonna add this lemon peeled in the juice. So off we go to juice. Alright, I'm getting ready to juice, but a good tip is that it's a good idea to have the juicer face away from you. So I'll be facing, obviously I'll be standing here, and the juicer will face this way a little bit even further, because I will be putting in some beetroot, and beetroot pigment is not the look I'm going for with my acid washed pair of jeans on today. So, and my slippers, of course, beautiful. So this is everything that will go into the juice. There's how many is this? 4 sticks of celery, a whole lemon, 2 beetroots, but it's this small kind of beetroot. That's 5 apples there. No, that's a lie, I think that's 6 apples. A couple of those imperfect looking carrots and some ginger. And I'll be juicing this and I'll see you after that's done. Alright, the real aftermath of a juicing session is a lot of mess everywhere. So this is the final product. Look at the colors. Look at the colors. And I'll put it in this little guy here. And I'll sip this while I'll eat the satsumas over there. And I figured while I'm at it and I'm already juicing, I'll be juicing some apples and I'll put it in the fridge to cool down. And once they had some time to settle down, I'll heat them up again with some, I think I'm gonna do just cinnamon, but we'll see about that. So I'm thinking about cinnamon and some citrus, maybe some orange, and heat it up, make it a really nice warm cider. And then on Friday, which is tomorrow, we could have a nice little walkthrough with some warm apple cider, looking at some Christmas lights in the neighborhood. Yes, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, the moment of truth. I do need to stir this because it does have a thick foam, so let me see. It's not that bad. It's not brutally overpowered by the celery, let me just say that. So apple, ginger and lemon is not too bad together, so cheers to some juicing. It does match my lip color, which is a bonus.